Hello, my name is Arethea Brooks and welcome to my channel here at Essentials to a Journey. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you are returning, welcome back. And on my channel, I discuss all things mindset growth and self-care, as I am a certified health coach. So getting into today's video, we are going to discuss self-care using somatic movement, creating the ideal you. And we will be discussing somatic movement through Pilates, yoga, and modern dance. But before we begin to discuss these forms of somatic movement, let's go over what somatic movement really is. So somatic movement is basically motion during which you focus on the internal experience and feeling of the movement instead of what it looks like from the outside. So it's basically focusing on how you're feeling while you're doing and completing the movement, and not so much on how you look in the mirror or, just checking yourself out and how you physically look, even though that with any movement, your body will begin to change over time if you are consistent with it. But that is just the gist of somatic movement. And so the first way that we can use somatic movement as a form of self-care to create the ideal you is through Pilates. Pilates is basically one of my favorite forms of exercise, form of movement. And I've looked at this as a self-care practice, as a somatic movement self-care practice, by focusing consistently on my breath. And for anybody that knows and that does Pilates daily, weekly, consistently, you'll notice that with each movement, there is an inhale and an exhale. So, when you're prepping and beginning to move with your first movement, you will take your inhale, and then as you move your body, you're exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, and so it goes. And so it's just dropping down into your body, into that space of your body, dropping into the space of your body and connecting to your breath, connecting the breath and the movement and how it's feeling for you internally. And another way that you can begin to use somatic movement, another great self-care exercise or movement practice that you can use, is through yoga. Yoga is great for breath work. Yoga is a great practice where you are not necessarily focused on how you look, but on how you're feeling by doing each movement. So I've had experiences of people say that when they're doing a particular yoga pose, that they either feel super empowered, or they may have a moment where they just start bawling their eyes out. And so this is what I mean by somatic movement, by connecting to how that pose and that position is allowing you to feel while you're holding it. And, there is essentially the warrior pose. And with the warrior pose, how do we feel? We feel divinely empowered. We feel empowered and grounded and rooted in ourselves and in our own energy. So yoga is a great way to use somatic movement as a daily practice for self-care. The third way the third practice, daily self-care practice that you can utilize throughout your week is modern dance. And maybe this is one that is unheard of or something that you wouldn't necessarily think would be a somatic movement, but it genuinely really is. I remember having an experience when I started out with ballet, and I started my ballet practice when I was in college. And before I really got into ballet really solidly grounding myself into ballet, I did a bit of, before we would start our practice, my teacher we would dive into modern dance, and we would sort of use this modern dance to just kind of loosen our bodies. But in it, for me, what I began to notice while doing this during ballet practice, this modern dance practice before ballet, what I began to notice was how I was feeling, how I felt either relief or how I was relieving some stagnant energy that was in me, how a movement may have made me feel again empowered and super in charge and just ready to take on more, modern dance can really bring up a lot of emotions for you. And I know it has brought up a lot of emotion for a lot of different people. So modern dance is another great way to, even though there is that focus on perfecting a certain movement, but modern dance is more of it's more flow. And so when you can just kind of go with the flow and allow your body and to not necessarily think about what it might look like, but get more grounded in how you're feeling when you're performing the movements. You can even take modern dance as a daily practice for yourself. So for example, say you just take 5 or 10 minutes out of your day to turn on some music that maybe doesn't have a lot of words to it, and will just help you to just kind of get into a flow and just allow you to vibe with it, vibe out, to just vibe with the music and just kind of let your body kind of move and however you're feeling it. It doesn't matter how it looks, you know, you don't need to look into a mirror to see yourself. You just need to be with the music and allow it to move you internally, and your body will begin to move essentially. And you know, this is another great self-care daily practice that you can use to connect to somatic movement. So I hope that all 3 of these daily self-care practices will essentially help you. And to just to recap, the first way is Pilates, the second is yoga, and our third practice is modern dance. Know that all of these practices can be done with an instructor. They can be done at home by yourself. It really doesn't matter as long as you're just really connecting again to the feeling and how you're expressing yourself and feeling internally. That is the most important key here when it comes to connecting to somatic movement. I know this video is going to be super helpful to you. Please save it to one of your playlists or refer back to this playlist, this self-care playlist, to be able to find this video so that you can begin to take self-care as more serious and as an essential daily practice. Thank you for showing up for yourself, for your self-care practice, and I wish you so much peace, light, and much love until my next video. Bye.